What's going on, everybody? Welcome in. Hope you guys are having a wonderful Friday afternoon. I know I said I wasn't going to go live on Thursday, Friday. My new schedule is Monday, Tuesday, noon to 2 Pacific. But we have such a special guest that how could I not be here on a beautiful Friday afternoon talking all things Squid Game, the challenge too. Mark Levy, number 100. Welcome into the live stream. Happy to have you here. How you doing today?
I've been great. I mean, honestly, I've been so happy this whole month. It's been so great having this whole experience and meeting people and from all over the world that have been connected with me on the show and want to connect. And it means a lot to me. I'm having a great time. How are you guys today?
Doing great, doing great. We also have Lauren Pratt here, our all things Squid Game person. How are you doing today, Lauren?
I'm fantastic. I'm ready to go. So fired up for this interview. I know, Mark, I've been trying to nail you down for some time now, and finally we're able to get you here and talk your experience.
It's exciting. I'm so happy to be here. I literally once you reach out to me, like, yes, let's do it. And my schedule's like, we have to wait. I'm like, no, schedule, clear up.
It's all good. We're just happy to have you here. So let's get into it. Guys, if you guys are new here, you can follow us at After Show on YouTube to watch live. You could also follow me twitch.tv/Bobby Goodspeed if you want to support us there. Also at Goodspeed Bobby, and I will let you know anytime I go live on my social media handles on X/Twitter and Instagram. So get your comments read live here on stream. If you have any comments or questions for Mark about his time on Squid Game, we'd love to hear it, and we will post your comments here live on the stream. We answer all your comments live right here. So Mark, tell us about your experience. Let's start from the beginning. When you decided you were going to audition for the show, what was that process like? What made you want to go on this show?
So I am a giant reality super fan. I've been watching reality TV constantly since Survivor Heroes vs. Villains, but watched the first season of Survivor live, stuff like that. I've always loved reality TV. Never thought I could be on reality TV. Then my friend Zeke Smith was on Survivor Game Changers, and then I got a little integrated in the community that way. And then here and there, I'd be like, yeah, once I drunkenly applied for Survivor, and it was the worst video of all time. I drunkenly compared myself to Wendell and Rick Devens, which honestly, socially, yes, very much so, but physically not at all. I will admit that in a heartbeat. But yeah, I've always loved reality TV, and then I loved Squid Game because I thought it was a great show. And then I did not know they were casting season 1 when they did, and then I saw the trailer for season 1 when it was getting released, and my dear friend Dash Katz was in that. So it's oh, okay. And I would love the season. I podcasted about it and everything. And I talked to some of the cast. And I remember at the end of the season, they had the little hey, apply now. I'm like, sure, I'll apply. I believe I told my fiance, we don't know for sure if I did. But we know this about 9 months later, I got a call and then went down the whole rabbit hole of doctor appointments, interviews, psych evals, everything. And it's in a whirlwind.
I can imagine. So day one, you get there. You're introduced to this extreme experience with that many people there. I'm sure it's just bewildering to see that many people in one building, all competing for this 4.56 million. Now, game one, we're immediately in on it, right? There's no red light, green light. It's immediately head on. Hey, we're going. What were your thoughts when they said, hey, we need to pick 2 people to come up and be the representatives? And then what did you think when you were choosing your side?
Well, okay, that's a great question. Because obviously you don't see the amount of time that it takes for all of us to get into that room, and we were all confused because we all thought it was going to be a game first, and then we were all pleasantly, happily surprised that we were in the dorms, and it was really cool because I remember walking in, you hear that big cacophony of sound. Because I was about the middle of the people coming in and just want to talk to everyone. And then you hear that siren go off after a long time I was in there. And then the front man comes out. Oh, boy. And I remember when we all lined up that the twins passed me. I was like, oh, that's cute. They look alike. That's where my brain went. I'm like, those 2 little guys look alike. They're not that short. They're 5'9", 5'10". But I'm 6'1", whatever. It doesn't matter. And I'm like, they look alike. That's cute. And then I noticed that there were a lot of families like twins and stuff like that, and siblings. I'm sure you guys heard about that before. There was a lot. There was probably 6 or 7 pairs of twins, and then they were the first to go up, but there were others too. And it's that thing of how many families are in there? Like, am I by myself? And like, I applied by myself, but I found out quickly that my friend Manfred was playing. I found out quickly my friend Debbie was playing, and like stuff like that. Like when I got to the dorms, like, and I met people, I was like, oh my God, what are you doing here out, like not in the Northeast? But so like when I was choosing my side, blue is my favorite color. Like absolutely blue is like my favorite color. The people I was bonding with in the dorms that first day all went to X, and I'm like, well, I want to be with my friends. And if it's that thing of like, obviously we want to, like, you want to stay safe. You want to stay safe. But like, and that does like affect catch too, to a certain extent for me. But like when you feel safety with people that you've been talking to, you're gonna follow them, especially that game. And like at that point, it's been like a few day trip, and I'm like, I don't want this trip to be over quick without like making a dumb mistake. So I was like, X is the way to go.
X is always the way to go, apparently. Can we talk about the familiar faces? Because you mentioned you recognized people when you arrived there. Did that give you a little bit of ease saying, okay, not everyone here's a stranger?
Absolutely. Like Manfred and Debbie are two people I've known for a while. Like Debbie I knew for about 3 years. I played LRG with her. We were loosely working together in that game, but like have maintained a friendship. You know how it is. Like when you loosely play someone in the game, and then like they try to turn you like, oh, but no. And I got her out. But Manfred and I like have gotten along, know each other for like 2 years at that point. And like we literally like hang out like in the same like friend circle. So it's that thing of like, we've always want to play a game together, and then like, oh wait, this is the biggest game we'll ever play. And we like quickly like at the dorm was like, we are working together, but we're not like outwardly working together. So like every talk I had went back to Manfred. Like my closest allies were not his closest allies, but we were each other's closest ally. So like it was like comforting because like you obviously like when you see like all those duos and such like that, you want your own duo, you want your own like people you can actually truly trust. But like it's scary because you don't get someone like that if you apply by yourself.
Right.
Sorry, go ahead, Lauren.
I was just going to say, you're almost at an advantage, though, if you think about it, because you're an unknown pair. All these other pairs, you know these people are twins. You know the father-daughter is there. So it does help because, as you said, I can go and speak to somebody else. Manfred can do that as well. And then you can come back together and cross paths with who said what. Yeah.
And also, like, later in the game, like, not much later, we started working with Eric, player 415, who's also an LRG vet. And we all like did that whole like weird honeycomb type thing where we're the core of the alliance and there's like more alliances around. So like it was like I was always good with Manfred's people, Manfred was always good with my people, but we were always the best for each other.
Gotcha. That's a great way of playing it. I say that on Survivor, Big Brother. If you can have like almost a secret alliance, it's the best thing you could do for your game. Now, my question for you. My wife and I were watching this, and you said, there's a lot of pairs there. There's a, a lot of mother, sons, father, daughters.
There was like a row crew at what I think also I saw like on like the TV Guide article. There was like a 5-person row crew.
Really?
Like, yeah. I'm like, that's cool.
So was there any husband or wives there? Because that's the one thing we haven't seen on the show.
I think there was, but they were on O, if I'm not mistaken. Gotcha. So I remember I saw like there was a really cool TV Guide article that was like there were 2 articles, like one like these like the 40 people you want to follow, and that's where I was just really cool. And then there was like the article, it was like these are pairs in the game. Like my friend Claire and her sister Erin were like an unknown-ish pair. They're not like they were like Pearl and Jeffrey, where their numbers were not next to each other, and they don't look alike necessarily.
Interesting. Yeah. So I was just curious how it all played out, but yeah, let's get into it some more. Lauren, is there any questions you have as far as this first episode?
Well, it really comes down to this. So you get into the room, they explain to you how the challenge is going to play out. What's running through your mind? Did you ever for a second think, do I need to make my opinion heard here? Or I'm just going to let people do it and have fate be in their hands. And I'm going to just sit, relax, and hope that we get through.
This is actually one of the things that was my initial strategy in the game was to lay low and make friends. And then like once I got to got my number and it was number 100, as you see right there, I was like, crap, I'm going to have to be like the full on mark. And so there was no way to lay low when your number is that memorable. So I knew that I had to like my goal was to like just make friends and like be good and experience it all. Now, when I got into that room, what you don't see is that we were pure chaos until like the count start, basically. Like there was a lot of yelling over each other, and like, are you guys kidding me? Like we like traveled this far, we gave up so much time, so much energy just to yell at each other and try to make one big moment on TV. Why go for one moment? Go for like a whole season of moments, right? And like I remember there was this guy, Simon, who's like a garden keeper in England. He just started screaming at us to like shut up. And then Jaunty screamed at us, like what you see in the episode. Like we were like chaos. Like, and like, because like everyone had an idea. There was like 10 different people with ideas, which if you see like our count structure, we had 3 guys, I believe, playing fake music, and we had 3 counters. And then we had Jacob in the middle, like just staring at them ready to. And like, I cannot tell you the amount of fear I had in my heart. Right with like 3, 2, 1, go. And then like the room just got silent. Yeah. And like all of us are like praying or like just like zenning out. Like I'm not the most religious person. I'm very spiritual. So I was just like, I'm just like trying to take this all in and send positive light towards people. And I remember like looking over and I saw like Kurt and Zoe praying, and like it was like the longest like 7.5 minutes of my entire life. Like just like while watching like actually very talented musicians like be like I have no rhythm, so I can't do it correctly, but I'm just there like I hope this is correct. I hope this is going well. And then like when we heard that we were off by 2 seconds, which is the thing we did here in the room, I was like, that's probably us. That's probably us, because it felt pretty close to like 1 second apiece.
Yeah. So you get through the game that you guys obviously end up winning. What was that feeling of just relief when you find out that you are surviving and now you can actually like really start playing the game?
I felt so good. Like, I mean, I worked so hard to be here. Like, I'm a hefty dude, and I had to like figure out ways like go to the gym. Well, not ways. I mean, obviously I went to the gym, but like obviously also Squid Game is not about being in like the most fit shape ever. But like, you know, like you do a lot of practice, you do a lot of like mental exercises, you change your diet. Like I gave up caffeine for like a month and a half before the game. And my job required caffeine because I was in a call center getting yelled at all day at that job. And like, it was like everything was just like so high stress going into it. And I just moved cross country 2 weeks before to LA where fires were happening. My fiance was there too. So if I look stressed out in the game, that's because I was very stressed out, concerning my fiance and all of our stuff. And like, I remember being so happy, being like, oh my God, I actually have a chance to like be a character. I have a chance to be myself, have a chance to have the experience that I want. And I remember like looking over because shortly after our celebration, I saw Jacob go like to his corner. And he looked really sad. I sat down and I'm like, hey, dude, your brother is going to be really happy for you. I hope that this is good. I hope you have a good experience. If you need anything, I'm here for you. And I hope that you're okay. And he was like, thank you. And then we started like bonding about movies and such like that, like and talking a little bit. And then other people came up also, like, and it got like a little like very saturated, but just okay. But I know I was one of the first people over to make sure he was okay. Because like I can't even imagine how hard that must have been for him. And like it was weird because like once you realize there's half as eliminated, there's like people I met briefly in that time in the dorm. Like I met that girl who was like in Below Deck and like bonded with her. And I don't watch Below Deck. I'm like, that's a cool looking person. I'm gonna talk to them. And like there was a guy that looked like Daryl Sabaro with tattoos. Like like it was like a whole bunch of like really cool looking people. And I'm like, that's so sad. Like I felt so bad. But I'm also like, I have the opportunity, so I'm gonna do the best I can with it.
So I want to touch on, because obviously the twin brother comes back, is back in the game, is competing for this amount of money. They have to eliminate 3 people. And we just see you bonding with the one twin, being like, it's okay, I'm here. And they're thinking about eliminating you.
Well, I mean, you don't see me in the show bonding with them like that, like, because like you don't see me interact with them really.
Right, but you are bonding with him, and they're thinking about eliminating you after that.
Yeah, I mean, like I can't imagine like how hard it must have been for them to like figure out, because like that's a hard thing. That's hard. That's really hard. Like I'm really happy with guy. I'm more happy that they didn't eliminate me, because like they actually did become really good allies of mine in the game. Like we talked every day about Marvel movies. Like I'm a big Star Wars fan, but that's actually a bigger thing for my fiance than me. Like I like Star Wars, so she loves Star Wars. And you know how it is. Like the wedding, you want to make sure the wife has like the experience that she wants the most, because she's been dreaming about this forever. I just want to have a happy life and a happy wife, you know? And I'm like, yeah, of course, it'll be like nerdy stuff for me too, because I'm a big Back to the Future kid. That's like my biggest nerdery. Like I have so much Back to the Future stuff, like, and it's so weird, like, because like I like taught like when like I remember like distinctly like both conversations with like Jacob and then Jacob Raoul, and like he was like, so what do you do with the money? Like, and that's like when like I brought up like Star Wars. So I was like, yeah, obviously the dream would be to have like the most badass wedding of all time. Like I'm not gonna spend $4.56 million on that idiot. But like also like I'm an only child who's a broke person and has been like my whole life. And my parents are middle class and they've helped me way more than they ever should. And like one of my goals in life was to like not need any assistance from them after a certain point. It still hasn't happened yet, unfortunately. But it's also a thing of like, what better thing to do with my money than give my parents just $1 million, like theirs, you know, for like all the kindness that they've done. Because like they've been there for me since the beginning. And like I'm like really lucky in that regard, you know, and like of course, like it's really weird that they considered me because of Star Wars Wedding. Like to eliminate me. And I get it, but it's also that thing of like I'm happy they didn't eliminate me. That's the best way to put it.
My other question on this topic: were you privy to how close you were to going before the episode came out, or before you watched it? They never said anything to you about it. Later on,
I didn't find out till March.
Really?
So I think it was definitely I needed to be a little bit closer. I have talked to Raul since the episode dropped. And he says about as close to being eliminated as most of the other people were. So like it was definitely like I was considered, but I don't think I was much more considered.
Gotcha.
But like it's that thing of like I literally was like, I'll never forget my friend Robin, player 052. She was like, you know, the Twins considered eliminating you. I'm like, what? No, because like we were close to the game. Like we like one day we ranked our like top 5 Marvel movies. And so like 2 hours like talking about that. And we all agreed Avengers Endgame is the best, and I agree with that wholeheartedly. But like it's that thing of like you don't know what you can say that could cause issues, you know? And like in the back of my brain, because I'm a paranoid human being, I was scared that my game was going to possibly end. I was scared that something else was going to happen because like, we did all count the bunks and we saw there were more people than there were bunks. So it's that thing of like in the moment, I was definitely scared, but it was also that thing of like I had no idea that I was like actually truly considered until like a month later.
Well, I think as well, that's a testament to what your social game was, because they had that thought originally of wanting to eliminate you, but then have the second conversation and go, I can't do this because this is such a nice guy. He's here for Star Wars Wedding and all this and that. And you were just pulling them in because then that thought went away. You were off the table after that.
Yeah. Like the thing is like also like they need people like me. Like they need people that don't look like they would be the person they would work with. And like they're smart, like they're very smart, like very good, kind people. Like we talk shockingly often for people that are very busy. But like they're very kind, like they're nerds. They like make comedy videos. Like they're like, we're cut from the same cloth. Like I'm super thankful they didn't eliminate me because like they're really nice guys and I really enjoy like every time I've interacted with them.
Yeah, it's a little off topic. After I finished the finale, I went back and watched the first couple episodes of season 1. And the one thing I picked up on that I had forgot because it had been so long since I had watched that season was that they do a bunch of tasks during the show. And then they also have they showed montages of people cleaning or peeling carrots or what have you. Was that still going on, or was that not a part of the show? Because we didn't really
absolutely
get
yeah, no, like they focused so much on games and very little on dorm life for the first few episodes of my season. Like the day of Cookie, like I call Cookie Gate, was like they did like 4 or 5 different tasks that day. And I was never gonna volunteer for one. I was like, I'd rather just be out here, be with people, having good conversations. Because like that's my I will admit a heartbeat, that's my soul, that's my strength. I'm a social beast, and like I was like, I'm not gonna like be like, oh, you have to like do this in a certain amount of time or you're gone. I'm like, no, I'd rather just rather get the most I can out of the game in that regard.
Yeah,
was it ever random for the chores though? I know you said people volunteer, but did they ever say, okay, this number person, that number person have to go do a chore, or it's just Pick
Not
me,
while I
pick
was
me.
there. I mean, I can only see that like when I was there, but it was like, hey, we need 3 people to go to the chore room, or we need 3 people to like clean the bathroom, and like they were literally just cleaning the bathroom. I'm like, that's not fun.
No,
Yeah.
not at all. So why would you volunteer for that? Did they
No,
think
I was like,
somebody
I'd
was
rather
going to come
just be
out
out
of
here
it?
and talk about like theater with Dimitri, you know?
Yeah.
I'd rather like be out here like bonding with Claire about how shitty the food is. Like
Yeah.
I don't know, like I'd rather just like make dumb jokes and like have a good time with people. Like I love like that's like the thing about the show you don't see, like you don't think about till you're there. Like you're stripped away of everything. You're just like
Yeah.
yourself. Like with a green tracksuit, you're just like you're blended in. You're like, who can I talk to? Like there was a day when like the day that I bought it with like Jeffrey and Perlo was like we were waiting in like we were just like talking about movies like for like 3 hours, like just about movies, like art house movies. And I'm like, this guy's cool. And he's like, this guy's cool. Like, it's just like that awesome thing. Like, you know, there's people like I would never talk to, like for a couple of different reasons. I'm not gonna go into them, but like, you know, like you like judge people because like that's what we do. Like, there's some people like, I don't want to talk to you, they scare me or whatever. And like I talked to everyone I could, and I learned about these people like in a real way. And I love that. Like, that's the thing, like I hate getting like a weird political soapbox here, but like that's the thing. Like I feel like we all like we don't talk to certain people because of whatever reason, and then like you like can't have an experience with these people and hopefully have a good experience.
Yeah. One other thing I want to ask just about the tasks real quick.
Yeah.
Was there anything as because we got a little bit with like the vending machine and all that, nothing like huge. There was a few moments, but was there anything that happened during a task that wasn't shown on the show that actually played a big part of the season?
I know that there was a lot of tension in a task that was not shown. It was the first time that there was a chore. This guy Weasel, who's like the sweetest dude ever. He's like he's from New Zealand. He's like the only person from New Zealand this season. He was like peeling carrots, and people were like, Weasel, what happened? Did you eliminate someone? He's like, no, I didn't. I just was peeling carrots. But what eliminates X, Y, and Z? I'm like, oh, that's fun. Yeah.
It's not good to be saying I'm the guy that's peeling carrots after we saw what happened last season when someone was peeling
exactly.
carrots.
Yeah,
Yes.
like I'm like I've watched that first season like honestly like 7 times between like prep, watching the show, and also podcasting about it. It's that thing of like you study the details. I'm like, no, I am not doing anything that could get me in danger. I'm here to win. I want to win.
Yes. Can we play that out real quick? If you had that dilemma, so in season 1 you could either eliminate somebody or you could give that person that you select an advantage in the next game. What would you do?
I probably would eliminate someone. Like,
Yes.
I am a really kind person, but I was always there for myself. Like, I mean, like, I've gotten some heat online about the fact that I chose X, even though, like, in the vote after Pentathlon, even though it was already confirmed that they were going home. The reason I chose X is because I was telling everyone I'm going to vote them out because I was afraid it was one of the lower times. So I'd rather keep consistent and change it to an O, even though it was already confirmed that they were going home.
All right. So now we see you guys go in and you have to get in these groups of 10, right? And you're going into your first real challenge of the show. What was your initial thoughts? What made you join the group that you joined? And what was your thoughts on the challenge as a whole?
So originally I was in a different group. Like I was trying to find a group. I was the last people to like find a group just because like people paired off really fast. And I found like that there was an extra spot like with like the people I hang out with, like Dimitri, Emily, Leon, Nick, Carter, who was a close ally of mine in the beginning of the game. Wyatt. I'm like, cool, awesome, we're good. And then like we sat down like in our group, and I'm just like, we're sitting there for a long time. And I'm like, my brain started like knowing the show, realizing like how many of us are left. I'm like, this doesn't feel like an actual number that would be like we're going against someone else. It felt like we might go head to head. I didn't vocalize that to anyone. And then like we're waiting for a long time. It took a really long time to do pentathlon. It took a really long time to do pentathlon. I think it took the longest of anything in the whole show, from what I've understood. But like, I remember like we're waiting like sequestered away from each other, but like not really sequestered from each other. And I remember like I think I told Dimitri, I'm like, I think I told Leon because Leon was right next to me. I'm like, I think we might be in danger with the other half. And then like we get brought into like the hall and I see this pentathlon. Like, oh no, it's head to head. It's 100% head to head because it makes sense because like it's 5 versus 5. So like And like we were already like talked about a lot of strategy of what to do, like in case it's pentathlon. I knew that Emily did gongi a lot. And Leon's a professional footballer in Japan. So it was that thing of like there were like things that were like, okay, we have good stuff. And I remember like I really want to do flying stones. I'm actually really good at target, like hitting things at from like target practice. Like I'm really good at axe throwing. Like when I say like if I caught that ball, I would have probably won the game. I really mean that I would have probably won the game because yeah, socially great, whatever. We're jumping ahead there, but it's that thing of we were trying to figure out like what was going to be what, and we saw like went inside, and they're like, okay. I remember I got like Doc G tips from my friend Carter, who would have just in case like while we were figuring things out, and he's like, yeah, you had to like the little seam, and it would work, it would flip that way easiest. So I'm like, okay, cool. And then like we get in the room, and I see it's not Doc G, and like do you want to change from ball and cup to something different? Like I would rather be flying stone. Dimitri was like confident about flying stone, confident. And I'm like, okay, well, then I'll do ball and cup. I've done it before as a child. Like it was I'm an only child. That was not cool. As the show states a lot, as I stay a lot on the show. But it's that thing of like, yeah, let's do it. Like I mean, I've done ball and cup before. And then like we'll talk about it, I'm sure, but like that ball and cup was not like the $2 ball and cup or a 50-cent ball and cup that I played with as a kid. Yeah.
If someone's so confident, you just have to let them have it, because then they just know I have the mindset where I'm already ready to play this game. Absolutely. I need to do it for sure.
Like I would have done House of Cards of Ass. I would have done like because House of Cards is the one that you think is not going to be hard, but it's hard. Ball and cup, you think it's not going to be hard, but it's harder than it looks. Yeah.
And forgive
Talk
me
about
for
the ball and cup though.
Yeah,
I want to hear about it. Yes.
So like we were able to like look at the things, not touch them, but like look at them, right? And like so like I bought this from Amazon. It's not the same. It's a lot lighter and a lot shorter string. But like because there's like a big like heavy like plastic or ceramic like cup, and the ball string was probably like twice or 3 times as long as this. And it was very bouncy. It was a bouncy string. Like this is just a sturdy string. And the ball was rubber. So like it was already like in a way of it to like be a little bit harder. And I remember like I was like, okay, you know what? It might not be easy, but it'll probably be the quickest, best thing for me. So like I was like fairly confident in ball and cup. And like just like knew I had to zen out. Like because like a thing that you will never understand as a fan of a show is there's literally more cameras on you than you can count.
Yeah. Yeah, I can imagine. And so forgive me for forgetting the name of this this challenge. The one where they have to throw the like die looking things and they have to catch it on their hand. Thank you. Did they explain the rules to you guys on that game?
Yeah,
because
they did.
I know
they dumbed it down for us, but not by much. Like because I know like I think like the 3rd or 4th round's a little bit more difficult. Like I think because like you have to like catch like that.
Yeah.
Like,
I would be so bad.
But I forget which one. Like there were a couple rounds that were a little bit different, a little bit easier. But yeah, I mean, like Emily, like the people that knew Gongi. Like that's it. Like you're not gonna learn Gongi or there while playing the game.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine because I was just watching that, and I the one thing I know is like obviously it was on the show, the show proper Squid Game, but watching it back, I'm like, we don't really get any clarification on the show because there's just not enough time to probably explain that game or any of the others. But just watching it, I'm like, okay, they're done. Wait, nope, they're keep going. Wait, now they're catching this. Now they're catching on the back of their hand. I'm like, I have no idea what's going on here. I'm just hoping they pass.
Yeah, I mean, like they explained it all. They showed us videos to it. Like honestly, I can't like praise production enough. You know, I'm not supposed to, but like Studio Lambert is amazing in every way possible. If you're ever lucky enough to be on a Studio Lambert show, do it. Like I cannot talk like more positively about like how safe I felt, how taken care of I was, even when things got bad, like really bad. But like even like explaining games, everything was just like super laid out and super like kind. Like that's the best way to put it.
Were you surprised that they did take out Dachi?
A little bit, just because like that's more one like the commonly known ones. I'm happy they did because like that was like I feel like that's one of the ones you're gonna get or you just don't get. Like ball and cup you can get, but like Doc G, either you get it immediately, or you're just slamming that for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, I'm just surprised they did take it out because it was in season 1, so people have seen it done before. Because I figured Ganji was going to be the one definitely eliminated, because when you see it in the drama, it is so difficult to do.
Yeah, and like I also remember like I was actually shocked that the top was taken out because I'm like, that's one of the ones I would felt comfortable with too. Because like you just have to wrap it tight and make sure it's good. And like it's more about like breath control than anything like that. Like, is it like focus in on it, right? So you just have to make sure it's all wrapped tight and smart, and then like hold on to it, right? And then just bling. Like I've done like 100 times, like in my prep, because I remember like you're able to buy like kits online of like the pentathlon games, and the one I remember I was able to do the top super easily.
So we get then to basically what they kind of expressed to us, which was the most difficult part of it, the House of Cards. We hear it throughout the episode. The House of Cards is the hardest one. And you get that poor woman who's just crumbling the cards. If you haven't seen it, go check out Kelly Wentworth's like video on that.
So
it's
great.
So funny.
Also, Grace's like sense of humor about the whole thing is amazing too. Like
Yes.
I can't imagine having that like be like my 15 minutes of fame. It's just like me like choking on a card.
Yeah, Lauren, you had an interview with her, right?
I'm getting her on. She has agreed to come on. We're trying.
She's amazing. I love her so much. She's such a great, kind human being.
So you get through the challenge. Obviously, it's intense. You guys are able to make it. Then at the end of the everyone going, you have one group left. They get to show you the challenge happening on the screen. What was the tension like watching that?
Well, can I tell you about like how insane my game was? Because like you only see like my thing, and then you see me like tell Nick like a strategy for House of Cards. Like it's like it was like by the time like it took me like 8 minutes to get that ball in the cup. It took me a long time. Like I was very scared. Like once you survive, that's the reason why I was like X like for voting out. But like I remember like I tried every technique ever, and I keep hearing them going 1, 2, 1, 2. I'm like, oh my god. And then Dimitri like missed the flying stone like 3 times. And when I say missed, it wasn't like close. He missed it like by 40 feet.
Oh, wow.
So we have to like walk to the wall basically to get it and come back. And then Emily did the gongi like in a very good amount of time. I remember like by the time like by this point I was able to like communicate again instead of just be a body that can walk 1, 2, 1, 2. I remember I was like, okay. Nick was like, he was like, I saw this thing shaking. I'm like, just breathe. You have all the time in the world. We're caught up. You got this. Like you actually hear me in the episode be like, breathe. Like you got this. And then like he got it in 2 tries while they were still on, because they were on House of Cards by the time we were on Flying Stone.
Oh wow!
Like we were dead. I was like packed. I was ready to come back to the States. I was like, unfortunately, okay, cool. I lost the game. And I remember like we passed House of Cards. And then we get to Jeggy, and Leon, like, I shit you not, goes 1, 2, 3 like that. It was so fast, the guard didn't even realize it.
That was like the easiest one by far, too. Like, if you ever had that.
I would have been terrible at that. I'm like not a kicker. I would have got 1 or 2, and then like the 3 is like the heart. Like it would be like little cute kicks. I don't kick cute.
Did they change it though? Because some people did it with their knee. Like, I thought you had to kick it, but we saw in the episode, someone did 2 on the knee, and then the last one was a kick.
Maybe it was bounces. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But regardless, like, I mean, good for them, right? Like,
yeah.
Like, I remember, so we got back in the dorms, and I remember, like, I felt so good. I remember, like, I reconnected with August, and, like this is, like, a moment of madness on the show, because me and August, like, we talked a lot. We bonded so much. And I remember I'm talking to him like, you're like my little brother I never had. And I remember like every camera turned on me while all that was happening. And we're having this like very sincere conversation. And like, it felt so nice like to like realize like I have like a person that's basically family that I never met until like went on the show. And like while this all happening, of course, like Kurt's like asking everyone like, has anyone seen Zoe? Has anyone plays against Zoe? And like, that's what he gives me like, I hope she's here. She's going to come back. I see her coming back and everything like that. And I'll never forget, like, almost every group's back. And Kurt's, like, crying. Like, Kurt was, like, in a really bad spot. And then the camera turned, like, the TV turns on. And, like, they showed us that video. And we're like, what is happening? Like, how are they, like, what are they doing? Like, how, like, what? And then, like, yeah. And then, like, Zoe ran in. It was, like, one of those beautiful things I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. So that basically right there got us through the first episode. Lauren, what is your initial thoughts on episode 2? What do you want to start with?
Well, I want to talk about, I want to get into some of the twists because I'm a big twist person, and I thought they did really well this season with what they incorporated, specifically with some of the disadvantages that got involved. And we start with the scratch off. Did you ever think to pick the scratch off?
No. So the food there is terrible. The breakfast is unedible. Like, it's like, I've called it, it's porridge, but it's like flavorless porridge in the hottest tin you've ever touched. Like, we would use our track jackets to hold be like mitts. But I remember, like, it was so gross, so nasty, and like so blah. Like, I would call it flavorless snot that's hot. Because it's like, yeah, exactly. Like, we've all been there before. But it's that thing of like, yeah, it was so gross. And like, lunch was like sometimes good, sometimes bad. Dinner was actually always pretty okay. They gave us like this like Italian gnocchi thing one time. And like the meal they gave us like had bread involved, which is not always a thing. Like, there was sometimes like an egg or whatever. But like, I remember like I was only eating 2 meals a day. I lost 10 pounds while playing the game. Wow. From like stress and everything. And like lack of food. But I remember like the scratches happening. My whole game was like just to play it safe, play it smart. Like, that was it. Like, nope, don't make any big moves, just be kind, be cool. Yeah.
Was there chapstick provided on this season? Because I know that was a big problem. Okay.
Well, it was like a tube, like a balm tube. Like, they would just, yeah.
There you go. Yeah, because I remember season 1 that was an issue for people.
Yeah, they milk the condoms, right?
Yeah.
yes.
So now we finally get the vending machine. And what were the initial thoughts on the vending machine?
I fucking hate that thing so much. Cookie Gate was the most stressful like 30 minutes of my entire life, like the game at that point, because like Ryan, Player 272, was like a soft ally for me at that point. Like you know, like goofy weird guys like bond together. Like, that's a real thing. And like he like everyone was like, oh, he looks like Kieran Culkin. I'm like, he looks like Ryder Strong. But like he kind of looks like both, actually. Regardless, I remember like I was inside the dorm. My friend Britt like created this like rap, and then like that finished, and then all of a sudden like 4 people run out from the bathrooms, led by Ryan, who I love Ryan. He's a good person. Please don't be mean to him. He's learned his lesson. But he literally was like, guys. And then like he started explaining like how the vending machine situation was. And like, it's immediately so suspicious because he's like, we were hungry, but we didn't want to eat all the cookies. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
Like, come on. I'm like, I referred to it as like a death cookie at one point because I'm like, that cookie will kill you. And like, I remember like Ryan makes it like, he's like, so we're gonna play a game. If you give us your chapstick or like your comb or anything that has your number on it, you get a cookie. Exactly. Yeah. And Dimitri, who's like the best human being in the whole game, he was like trying really hard to make it sound less suspicious. And like, he was like, guys, this is really just a cookie. Don't listen to Ryan. It really is just a cookie. And my brain's like, what is happening? While this is happening, Joan, who was on Australian Survivor, and Chris, the guy who throws to Viper in Catch, are there silent and just smiling. Like, there was no way in hell I was going to come near that cookie. And then like, I remember like 2 people went up. I'm like, don't you fucking do that. Don't do that. Don't eat the cookie. You're going to die from the cookie. And then I remember like the whole thing ended and Ryan just shoved 2 cookies in his face and ran away.
It brings me flashbacks from one with the lure of the guy answering the phone and saying, I need to hand the phone off to somebody, and trying to get people to come forward. And slowly some people are inching, and everyone in people's alliances are going, no, don't pick up the phone. That is exactly what you would think is coming right there, because they probably did some type of temptation and then go, oh, we have to give this cookie to somebody else, and then that person goes.
Eliminate or whatever,
Yeah.
And I was watching that just the other day, and immediately came to my mind. I know this is brutal. My mind thinks cynically sometimes, but if I was that person with the phone, I would just instantly fall to my feet and just like start fake crying and being like, it's a call from home. I don't get it, but I get to give it to someone who's not going to want to try for a call from home.
That's an Eric move right there.
And then they get eliminated, and then you're an asshole. But it's great TV.
Yeah, but that's an Eric move right there.
Let's just say there's a part in your season, Mark, where I thought someone could have been the biggest villain of all time and the greatest moment in the show's history, but it didn't happen.
What was that?
The finale,
Yes.
where
okay. Yeah.
You know,
I know exactly what you're talking about. Because my dear friend Vanessa would have been like gone, I feel like, and that made me really sad.
Me and Fairplay were watching that episode, and I swear to God, we both looked at each other like, is it gonna happen? We're like, no, he's too nice. It's not gonna happen. I'm like, maybe I've been rubbed off by Fairplay too much because I was thinking immediately, I was like, this is gonna be the greatest moment in the show's history if he does this. And then he doesn't have any repercussions because then it's just a leg race.
Yeah.
Right?
You know? So I don't know. Just I digress. But let's move on. So we get to the point where obviously all the people that are the slowest in the previous competition are now up for elimination. What was the actual thought from what you thought was going to happen? Did you think these people were goners no matter what?
I thought that they did have a chance to stay. They really did. Yeah. So like the way that it was, like people were like, what happens? Like the biggest thing was what if? Mm-hmm. So like a lot of people were like, what if it's the next slowest, which is where I would have been really concerned, which is where my biggest concern was, because I know how many eternities it took me to get that ball in the cup. Like, and then people thought, what if it's the fastest? So the people are like highly athletic, and the people that are like me are like, oh my God, what's happening? So like people are like trying to get for their allies, and a lot of paranoia was happening because that of course took a lot longer than you see. And like, there was no way in hell I was ever going to vote for anything but X, because I was looking out for myself. I was always looking out for myself in the game. People don't realize, because I'm a very nice human being, but I'm also a very strong strategic player too. And my game in Squid Game was mostly social.
Yeah.
So like, I was like, and there were a lot of people that voted X because they did not want me to go.
Yeah. Do you think if the votes would have been more circle there and more for those people to stay, do you think the tide would have been turned? Was it just, this is where the majority is going, I got to go that way?
It was really actually shockingly close for a while there. That's the thing. Like, it was like, there was never the point where the O's like fully caught up. Like, it got with like 2 a couple of times. Because I remember it was like 1-1 at first, and then it was like 2, 3, 4, or whatever. And then like, yeah, like it was that thing of like, I owe so much to Mike. The musician. Like, he was so good. Chris, who's a person walking right from me, was like such a kind man. Jarrell, I didn't really talk too much, but he was like awesome. Eric was really cool. Cheyenne is like one of the most badass women I've ever met in my entire life. So it was that thing of like, it was hard because like you have to like walk up there and you're like voting these people out face to face.
Yeah.
Like you're not far. Like I was like maybe 15 feet away from them.
What I also find interesting too is they're really keeping it in line with the drama. Season 2 of the drama, we had the voting. They brought the voting into the challenge aspect. So I'm really enjoying that as well.
Yeah. I was like really pleasantly surprised. Like I had theories about being like X and O at one point. Because I was talking to Dash, coached me throughout the whole like process going into the game from like September to like January when I left. I remember like him being like, you have to be prepared for votes that are gonna be hard. Like, and I'm like, you're right. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Then we get to the point now where they're doing the scratchers, right? Where people can take a scratcher and miss a meal, or they can eat the meal. Obviously, I think you made the right decision. I think always avoid that at any cost. But we did see 2 people got a disadvantage in the game, and we see it come to fruition. I don't want to yada the other ones, but those were the 2 most important things from what happened there. What were your guys' thoughts when that happened?
So one of those is like one of my closest allies in the game. Sam 352. Like, you see me hug her a couple times on the show. She was like one of my pillar people in the game, and I think it's like really important for you to have like pillar people. Like, a pillar person is someone that like this keeps you sane. This is the person that is like might not be your number one ally, but is very much like a good grounding force for you. We both like were very excited to be there. Both had similar reasons to play. Both giant nerds. Like, and we like literally spent every day, like we like would have one good long talk every day about our day, what we're excited about, what we're hopeful for, what we're thankful for, stuff like that. So like to see her like sit down, like be like zen about it and everything like that, I was so scared. Like when she got a disadvantage, I was like, oh crap. like the person that like one of the people I'm closest in this game is not coming back, and I'm probably coming back next. And then like I remember like August was like about to like go in the scratchers, and he ended up getting food. And then like Peter's the only got disadvantage. I was fine with that.
So we then get to the game, and you guys go in there. You see that there's all these dots on the ground. You have to make these teams. Then this is probably obviously the biggest moment on the show for you, this entire game. Just walk us through everything from start to finish if you can. Like what were your thoughts about the game? What did you want to do if you had a say in where you were going to be placed? What have you?
This is like obviously like one of the hardest things for me to ever like think about, because like I went through years of therapy to like get over the insane bullying I got in elementary school for being the weird broke kid at like a really rich Jewish day school. Like everyone would have like the $300 Nikes, and I have like the $80 Nikes. Like I'm not like saying I was poor or anything like that, but I was the poor kid in that standard. And like we walk into the set, and the set is really big, as you can kind of tell. Like to give you an idea about how far back it was, I was probably about 40 feet from that dot. It looks a little bit closer, but it was like definitely like 40-ish feet. I'd say like the longest throw probably about a little over 100. That's what I gathered. But we walk in, the set's like hot, and it's got that exact same paint as my elementary school gym, where literally I was bullied for being weak, for being ugly, for being nerdy, for being the awkward kid, for being everything that I could ever imagine. And I was like, okay. And we're like trying to figure out like what the actual game could be, because you just see dots. And you see like a basketball hoop and like ladders, and like we're like, oh, it's like, because like we saw like on the tiles like chutes and ladders. Like we saw like something that was clearly like that in the dorm. So we're like, oh, maybe this is it. But like a weird play on it. And like we're like have no idea what's happening. And then we hear a catch. And I'm like, okay. And then like they explained it, and I'm like, okay, that's not terribly hard. I could do this. Like, and like I was like, as long as I'm like in a spot from like 6 to 9 dots back, and I believe I was like the 9th dot back, if I'm not mistaken. I'm like, because we also didn't know what size ball it was going to be. We didn't know anything. We just knew like we thought maybe it'd be like a marble for the first few like rounds. Like, and then we thought it'd be like a giant like beach ball by the end, stuff like that. We didn't know it was gonna be like 16 tennis balls. And like I said, I would have been moderately confident from where I was if what happened didn't happen. It's so like I hate saying this because like I feel like a jerk when I'm like I was bullied, but I mean I was bullied. Like that's it. Like I was actually bullied on international television, and it sucks. Like I know what the strategy Ryan was trying to do is probably similar to like what Viper's strategy was, of like have people that like are placed around that you might not want to throw to. Now the way Ryan went about it is not the best way. And I remember like distinctly like, so like before you see anything, Mackenzie goes, I can look weak. I can look weak. I can look sad. I can look frail. And then like the strategy talk continues. And then Ryan's like bouncing off that idea. What if we have like a whole bunch of people that look weak and etc. Like you would not want to throw to? Again, not the worst strategy if he leaves it that way. But then with the combination of the room we were in, the circumstances and everything, and having him talk to me like that, it was so distinctly bullying that like my brain just like shut down in a way that like I reverted basically back to my 12-year-old self. And like as I said before, I'm not going to go too much details about this. Studio Lambert's amazing. They took care of me in that moment to get me to a spot where I could actually like breathe. That's the best way to put it. Because I was really not in a good spot. And the thing is, like you don't see in the edit, but literally the whole line, allies or not, was defending me. Dimitri was the first, but like people were like, no, that's not cool. That's not a good idea. Don't do that. And like I felt really supported at that point, which is something I never felt when it came to like the kind of situation as a kid. Because I was like, yeah, Mark's weird, let's dogpile on him. Like Mark doesn't have friends, he's an only child, like stuff like that. Mark is poor. And like it felt nice as an adult to have support like that. I was already like kind of I was in a really bad spot after that.
Yeah.
And I was never going to quit the game. That's not my, like, because I walked into catch and I figured this out, and it's been pretty much confirmed to me by everyone else in the game. I was like a 5% chance of winning at that point. Now, statistically, that's not accurate, but like there are people that were never going to win the game. And I was those people was like in the slot of I was going to win the game if it all shakes out in a way that I can. I was good for Mingle. I'm pretty good. Like I said before, good at throwing, good at games. So marbles was pretty good for me. I'm a big social strategy nerd. So like if I got to circle of trust, I win pretty good because I play a lot of Werewolf and Mafia. Like it would have taken luck to get me out. That's the best way to put it. And I remember distinctly like the team was like, you're okay. Whatever you need, you're okay. And I remember like I was just like after being I hate saying assaulted, but basically assaulted. I was like, I just need to be in that like spot where I know I'll be safe. It's like that 69 spot where like I know I can catch. The ball is big enough. It's in my hands, right? Like it's good. So like that's where my brain was. I know that's a long answer and kind of rambly, but yeah.
No. It's great because honestly, it was like a huge part of the episode. Even my wife, who's not the biggest reality TV show fan, was like just on the verge of tears watching that moment with you because it just resonated with people. You know, it's just like, this is not cool. This is not how you treat someone. And I'm glad the show highlighted, as much as obviously it must have been a little traumatic to watch it back. I'm glad that they at least put that out there and let it be known, hey, this is not okay by airing it, you know, and this is not how you treat people. But we did see you go into the challenge, and I'm sure after all that, the emotional state and everything that played a big factor in.
It was hard, dude. Like I'm just like you don't see it, but like I'm sitting at Ryan for like 3 hours.
Yeah,
and I did not want to look at Ryan like at all. Like I was so angry at Ryan. I was done with Ryan. I was never going to talk to Ryan again. I was like, fuck this guy. I hope he like burns in hell. And I hate saying that, but like that's just like I was in a really bad spot because like, yeah, like I expect people to be hard and intense in the game. I'm like not an idiot, and I can handle hard and intense. Again, like I love Survivor, I love playing LRGs, but like what he was doing crossed the line, and like I did not want to stare at him. I didn't want to deal with him. I wanted him gone, but that's not my call. And I was like, fuck this. I just need to like get through this. And you can see actual jubilation in my face when he gets out. Because like, if you see me, like, I'm like so zoned in on just getting through the game. Like for like hours on end. Like I was like not myself after that.
Yeah. Lauren, I know you've got to get out of here soon. So I want to get to the actual catch of it. Yeah. And watching that moment where they really played up the moment of you know, setting up, talking to yourself, you know, hyping yourself up for the catch. It was so much of my wife stood up, was like cheering, was like, he's gonna do it, like it's the suspense. And in my head I'm like, oh, they're doing this because it's not gonna happen, is it? It's gonna drop. I was like, please don't do this to Mark, not after all this. And then we see the drop happen. What was going on in your head when that happened?
I really had full confidence in myself at that moment. Like I know you talked to Julie about that, Lauren. Like we talked to her. Like I actually really was really confident in myself. Like I was like bouncing back to myself. Like you hear my laughter and stuff like that. And like I was like, okay, Ryan's gone. I don't have to worry about him. It's just me and Julie. I love Julie. I got this. We got this. As they'll make the joke, like tell like, oh, I 100% got this. I mean, I really did believe that. And I remember like once it was like locked in, all I saw was like a black tunnel. Julie, ball, myself, nothing else. It was the quietest room I've ever been in my entire life. And I'll never forget the ball leaving her hands, flying like that 40 feet or so in the air. And I remember like approaching my hands and it just bounces off my fingertips. And like the thing is, my brain, where I was at mentally, I could not take a step forward. I was like so like locked in and like trying hard not to like break down even worse. Like if I took one step forward, we both would have been in this game. This would not be a crux of our conversation. But like, I felt like, so I remember like once the ball bounces, I saw it hit the ground, and then like everything went back to color. And I was like, I did not think about my fiance, I didn't think about my family or anything. I just thought about Julie. And I ran straight to Julie and I apologized immediately to her as much as I could. And I was so scared that she like hated me after everything. Because like Julie's so cool. Like I love Julie. And I just was like, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. And then like we were like hugging for like what felt like a really, really long time. And then like our squibs go off and like the camera cuts and everything like that. We get off stage and like we're ushered different directions. And like Julie hates me now. And like I remember like once we were actually able to talk, she's like, no, I have no animosity towards you at all. I love you. I was always going to throw it to you because you're a good person and good people support good people.
She did say that when I had her on the podcast. She said wasn't going anywhere else but right to you. And the fact of the matter is she was so supportive and just the confidence that she had. And you know what? I say this for everybody. Even if you catch a ball every single day of your life, you can have that one day where it just goes off your fingertips and it falls, such as that. Even if you play softball, baseball, it could happen to anybody.
Yeah, I mean, trauma or no trauma, like it can happen.
Yeah. Well, I do have one question about the competition, Mark, before we kind of start to wrap things up. So initially I thought, okay, you're going to have to stay on your little circle and you can't move up. But as we see the show, the game progress, you see people running like 3, 4, 5 circles ahead to catch the ball. What were the rules on that? You could run as far up as you wanted?
You can move as long as the ball's in the air.
Interesting, because I feel like that makes it like a dramatically different game. I imagine if you just have to stay on one circle the whole time, you can't move. It's much more difficult.
Yeah, I mean, like that's why, like I felt for those people like towards the back that were also definitely more unathletic than me. Again, I'm not as unathletic as I look. I just look very unathletic, but whatever. But yeah, you were able to move. I just physically could not move.
Yeah. Lauren, what other thoughts do you have for Mark before we wrap this thing up?
Well, Mark, before we get to one thing, because we are going to absolutely promote you here, I just want to say thank you so much for coming on this podcast and sharing your story. You had so many people that were watching that were cheering for you hardcore. And I just know you've gotten a ton of support after being on this show. And I really want to give you this moment here to promote for returning for Squid Game season 3.
So, yeah, I mean, it's that thing of like the edit of me shows me as the awkward outsider. I am an awkward outsider, but I'm also like really good at making myself be like people want to talk to me, you know, like I am who I am, but I'm also like that person that people want to talk to, want to relate to. So like, even though like the show shows me one way, I was like very much aligned with most of the cast. I was in a very good spot. I am also now a stronger human being than I was back then. I've also I played these games before. Like it's a thing of like, if I go back, it's not like a wasted thing. The only way I'm getting out is if it's something that targets me, but also like, I'm going to be playing more aggressively, which I hate saying. Like I'm still going to be myself, but I'm going to be more aggressive as myself. Because like, I don't have the luxury of being an unknown. I am unknown. I'm a very well known, but also they only saw one side of me. They saw like emotional Mark, which is a very real thing, which will probably happen again. But also they haven't seen like strategic Mark. And like, that's a thing that like, I'm really excited and I want to show off so badly. Like I'm ready to make the moves. I'm ready to cut the throats, but also smile and make jokes at the same time. And make sure my friends and myself are looked out for at the same time. Because that's what I do. I look out for people. And like, it's been such an incredible experience of like meeting people from all over the world that feel like a misfit toy, that feel like something's off about them. Like, I mean, I'm not autistic, I'm neurospicy. And like people think that I'm autistic sometimes, which is fine. But it's that thing of like, people see themselves in me because they don't see themselves represented a lot on reality TV. And as a person that is holistically who they are and can only be themselves, and I'm not like the traditionally best looking guy out there. I'm just a nerd that likes movies and likes reality TV and loves Squid Game. Like it's been an insanely amazing experience. I'm so thankful for every second of it.
Yeah, no, I think that you were absolutely amazing. I mean, at the end of the day, there's 450, what is it, 59, 57?
56.
56, excuse me. Sorry, you hear it all season long, and then it just escapes my head as I'm trying to talk about it. 456 people there. Only so many people can get screen time. Like, you got an absolutely amazing edit, so much so that you're in, the top 5 to possibly come back for season 3. I mean, you got... Even though you didn't win the money, I think you honestly got a lot from the show that I'm so happy that you got to experience, because that's everyone's dream that does this, right? Like, your dream is even if you don't win, which is a minute chance you'll do win, at least you get some kind of screen time and you get to share your story. And I'm so glad you got that opportunity.
Exactly. Like, I mean, I gotta be like a nerd on international television. Like put me on, you'll see me talk about like how much I love bumps, like stuff like that. Like, like I don't know. It's like I'm just a big fucking nerd, and I'm so happy as a reality TV fan, and as like a nerd that's been in these streets for so long to like be able to like be myself. And like I'm so thankful the edit showed me also as goofy and silly.
Yeah,
I cried a lot. I cried like 20 times in that game at least. And like experience has been so cool seeing like the edit, and like I've been so thankful, like getting messages from people like from all over the world about it. It makes me so happy like that, like people see themselves in me. It makes me happy.
Yeah,
we can see the happiness shining through here, just you speaking to us and getting to talk about all these specific moments. Can you tell people where they can vote for you?
Oh, absolutely. I believe it's like todoom.com, I think.
Mhm.
But if you type in like Netflix, like Squid Game, the challenge, second chance vote, it'll bring you to like that page. There's 5 people you can vote for. If you don't want to vote for me, you can vote for Zoe, the twins, or Viper. They're all great people. I'm not going to say anything bad about them because they've all been friends of mine in real life and also in the game. So like honestly, like vote for who you ever want. If you want to vote for me, thank you so much. I would really appreciate that. I will not let you down. But if not, then I hope you enjoy the season.
Yeah. And is there anywhere people can find you on social media?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'm on Instagram at MarkLevy85. You can find me on TikTok at Movie Mark. I will be doing movie reviews again very soon. But as you know, my life right now is very much Squid Game, and I'm very thankful for that, for every opportunity it's provided. I will be making a lot of nerdy movie content very, very soon with like my silly reviews and all that stuff too. And yeah.
Awesome. Lauren, where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Pratt6, and just know many more interviews are coming your way. We'll be talking more Squid Game, also the recap podcast with myself, Eric, Player 415, and Dan, Player 204 from season 1 will be coming at you next week.
Yes, and hopefully we can try to get some mini reunion going with a bunch of people from the cast. We would love to have that be a possibility since we don't really get a little, bow tie on the end of the season. It's just kind of yada yada. We'd love to have everyone's thoughts in one place. So it'd be a lot of fun. We'll see if we can work on that. You guys can follow me at GoodsbyBobby on Twitter/X and Instagram. I go live every Monday, Tuesday, noon Pacific to 2 p.m. Pacific right here at After Show on YouTube or twitch.tv/Bobby Goodsby. Thank you guys again for coming here. Mark, thank you so much. Look forward to more of you in the future, hopefully in the immediate future, because my votes did go your way. So I'm hoping that it works out. So with that being said, we will see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.